Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So it's the weekend, so it's movie review time, and what have I got for you this weekend? So this is the new David Ayer movie, The Beekeeper. So yes, this is Jason Statham back to kind of a solo martial art action-packed film. Obviously this does star Jason Statham. This also stars Josh Hutcherson from The Hunger Games, Jeremy Irons, and I think loads of more as the main actors that you will know from other stuff. There are a few other minor actors and actresses who I don't know. But anyway, so the story of this is essentially Jason Statham is the character Adam Clay. He don't know about his past. He starts off, he basically is a beekeeper. He stays on this woman's farm, lives in a barn, raises bees. She's a nice lady. She helps him out very early on, as the trailer would say. She unfortunately gets duped in fraud by this online fraud company or this call center, so to speak. They probably not the camera yet. They wasn't an earthquake or anything. So they rob her of all her money. She's a trustee, and unfortunately, she then decides to kill herself. Clay is arrested initially for it, and then realizes that something has gone on. He's arrested by this woman's daughter, who's a cop. Then Clay realizes what has gone on and basically goes out of retirement because he is a kind of secret agent, and then wreaks havoc on it, basically working his way all the way up the company to the big bad boss, so to speak. Very short, very sweet, to the point. Did I like it? Yes, I did. This is a very almost return to form for Jason Statham, and I know that's going to be lots. So he released 4 movies of last year. Operation Fortune I haven't seen, so I can't comment about that. The only 2 I saw of his were Expendables 4 and The Meg 2, and to be honest, they were both films I was very underimpressed on. Expendables 4 was more like a solo project for him, but you couldn't really appreciate his all the stuff he did, because obviously Expendables has so many other actors in, but they got so little limelight, and just some of the bad CG and everything else just did not work for me. So I was very much going off 2023 as Jason Statham not making the best movies ever. You know, is he going to go down a kind of really bad path? You know, we have seen that obviously in times, Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage, all these people from the 90s that made really great movies, unfortunately start doing really cheap bad movies for one reason or the other. You know, some of them do appreciate them, and this is just my view, so please don't take it offensively. But yeah, this is where I kind of went into this movie thinking, I hope this is good, and actually I was surprised it was really, really good. Had a few twists and turns and stuff like this. Anyway, let's bang the spoiler on up and let's get into it. So yes, as I said, it starts off with Jason Statham. He's talking to the lady, and basically he's a beekeeper. You know, because he's been helping, he does bees on her farm, and she's helped him out, and he says, you know, you're the only one to help me. Then this cyber company basically a call centre, basically rip all her money by cloning it. You know, their job is to kind of scam people. This is what happens. Obviously the lady loses all the money, specifically I think 6 million from a trust fund she had, and obviously shoots herself in the head. Jason Statham finds her daughter comes on and arrests her because he's in a house, doesn't know who he is. Then he gets out and realises that talking to his daughter when she apologises, that basically somebody took all her money. He goes back to his beehive, pulls out his special phone, phones his company, and just says, look, I need you to trace this number. I trace this number to a building, then he basically goes in, beats everybody up and sets the building on a call centre alight. Goes back home, carries on with his bees, that's how it is. Now, the head guy at this call centre, he calls his boss, who's played by Josh Hutcherson. He is Jason Davenport? Derek Danforth. Derek Danforth is the character's name. Calls him, says this bloke's been there, blah, 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 blah. He's kind of this geeky, or not geeky kid, kind of this kid, you know, wants to be a hard man kid, but zen and all this stuff, and kind of, you know, given to a rich kind of playboy who's got too much money than sense, so to speak. He tells us, but you know, you basically need to get someone to offer him. He gets some guys, they trace him back to this lady's house, who shot herself, follow him to the barn, and try and take out Statham. Statham, obviously being the expert professional he is, takes them all out except one, lets the guy run off, and then follows him to a bridge, where he then basically kills the bloke, so the head of the call centre in the very beginning, and then finds out that Derek, or Josh Hutcherson's character, is the guy he needs to get to. He then starts a journey of going to his main head office to sort him out. Josh Hutcherson's character, realising this has all happened, starts to panic. He goes to what we believe is his stepfather, who seems to run the business. He used to be in the CIA for many, many years. He explains it as a beekeeper and stuff. Then, obviously, Jeremy Irons realises that Beekeeper is actually like a secret program. It is one agent is programmed outside of the law, given all resources to do what they want, to basically keep the country in check. If there's something that goes wrong, they can do it. They disavow kind of the Mission Impossible stuff, so to speak. But this is just gun-ho heavy. He tries to protect his, what we assume is a former adopted son or his partner's son. Unfortunately, Jason Statham just starts wrecking a path all the way towards him. The woman that died, her daughter and partner, are then tracing him as well, trying to stop stuff out. And it's very, very good. There's loads of martial arts scenes. They're a very ingenious way of a lot of people get killed. There's quite a bit of blood and gore and stuff, like ends of shotguns being taken off and stabbed into people and stuff like this. But it's all bad guys who have supposedly done it. Anyway, it leads to the big boss building. The main lad gets away. Statham finds out that he's the one, and then he basically goes on to sort out he is like the king. In between this, you do meet the newer Beekeeper who replaced over. Not really too impressed with that actress. Didn't seem. They said she's unhinged, and that seemed a bit of a oddball character put in there. Could have been anyone. But yeah, then it's the big reveal that basically Josh Hutcherson's character is the son of the president. This is where it got a little far-fetched for me. I'm like, you could have just had some sort of massive CEO of the company, of the Department of Defense. It didn't need to be the president. And then you have it all combinating in this one weekend, basically, where the president's flying back to this building to, what would be classed as their summer house, which is this massive building, all this stuff with all this security. Jeremy Irons hires all these covert and specialised people from there and everywhere, all around the world, to protect him. There's like a circus going on, and I was like, what is like massive party and stuff like this? I was like, the president would have this sort of stuff going on. Anyway, Statham turns up, starts wrecking it. Very ingenious how he gets around a lot of stuff and starts working his way. The president then realises his son is at fault, and not only is his son is at fault, the whole reason this all happens, that basically the Jeremy Irons character, he created a software to basically find terrorists. The son took that software and basically trained it to find vulnerable people that they could scam out of money, and that's what he's been doing for years. This is why Statham wants to do it. Obviously, leads up to the battle. Statham gets his man, swims off kind of into the sunset, and that's where we are. As I said, this was actually a really, really enjoyable movie. I give this a 7 out of 10. Like, return to form, like the martial arts and stuff like this. Like, he is kind of almost John Wick, but there's enough story thrown in there. He does have one fight that some bloke does partially get the better of him. But it's all well done. It's from David Ayer, who did the original Suicide Squad. He's done End of Watch. So he has done some good movies. I think this is a good one. Whether this is the start of a franchise, I don't know. It was good as a standalone movie, and I like it, and Statham did really well. I like all the supporting cast. Josh Hutcherson, he played the snivelling little kid. Not necessarily the usual role he's used to, but it is what it is. I just go into the whole big president thing, I think, was maybe too extreme, maybe pushing it too far. It didn't need to go that far, but that's just me. Anyway, have you seen The Beekeeper? What were your thoughts? Please let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. This has been my review of The Beekeeper, and I shall see you in the next one.